Here with Matt Langley, the head football coach for your Caldwell Hornets. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Unusual circumstances, which gives you time and me time to do this kind of thing. But if you don't mind, just walk back a few weeks or a month or so and uh, walk us through what it looked like as these COVID-19 conditions and restrictions came down, the cancellation of spring sports, and what that means to a community like Caldwell.
Yeah. It's been heartbreaking in a lot of ways to have to have to watch a lot of great kids and programs and coaches not have the opportunity to do what you set out to do, which is compete and compete and have the opportunity to have team success and advance and have individual success and chase some district championships and head to the postseason and all that stuff. Felt like we were having a really successful spring sports season. Baseball team was a great group, and we were really excited about the season that they were underway with, and man, saw some good things out of them. Our softball team was getting better and better and better each week. They have a really good group of young players, and it was a fun mix to watch those kids grow and get better. And we had some really good senior leadership with them as well. And they would have been really competitive in their district. Our track teams were growing and doing really well. Had just competed the day before spring break, or the day we got out for spring break. They had just competed at our home meet, and our girls won the meet, and our boys finished a really close second and competed really well, and had a lot of kids out and competing. And so anyway, I was really excited about our spring seasons. And then of course soccer was within 2 games of finishing up their season. And so golf and tennis are really good programs for us. We every year in golf and tennis, and felt like they were going to be really competitive again. So all that to say, it was pretty heartbreaking to have that come to an end and not be able to finish it. You know, I don't know if you've gotten to watch the series on the Bulls and the Last Dance series, which has been fun to watch. But I tell you, it was pretty impactful when Jordan said, I just can't get over the fact that we didn't have the opportunity to continue to go. He wanted to keep chasing, and I feel that's kind of how I think a lot of athletes and coaches feel about this spring. Is win, lose, or draw. You can't predict how far you're going to go and who's going to be the last one holding up a plaque at the end of it, and all that stuff. But win, lose, or draw, you just want to have a shot. You want to have an opportunity to compete, and it didn't happen as far as being able to continue and finish. And the guys that I had been on staff with at San Antonio Brandeis, the first time in school history they made a state basketball tournament, didn't have an opportunity to finish that competition. And holy cow, I mean, what a way to have it come to an end. It's one thing. I mean, I think anybody who's a competitor, nobody likes to get beat, but I think understanding when you've been beat is one thing, but when you don't have the opportunity to finish and compete, I do think that lasts a lot longer and becomes a little bit harder to get over. And then in a community our size, I think our school is kind of the heartbeat of our community. We have an awesome Caldwell is a very largely a farm and ranch community, and so from an industry standpoint, realistically, our school district is the heartbeat of this community, and then our community does an awesome job supporting our kids and our athletes and our programs and our schools. And so I think it was once you take that away, I think the community does lose a lot of its identity and its self. And you got people that would if we started a dadgum cricket team, they'd show up and wear orange and cheer our kids on. And so for to have to go months and have programs and kids that they've been watching compete and following, which we had a really special group of seniors this year. A lot of kids that a lot of this community's been following for a long time. Not have the opportunity to finish and see what they could accomplish as the end goal. I think it is difficult. And not to make light of the situation the rest of the country is in. I'm 100% empathetic of people that have had to close businesses down and tighten up their finances big time because of the regulations on everything. But being the position that I'm in as an athletic director and a coach and a people that a person that loves kids and loves getting to see programs compete and have opportunities, it's been heartbreaking. It really has. And so I think it's been impactful, but I also think hopefully we all have a little bit different perspective moving forward on some of the things that it's really easy to take for granted. The opportunity to that old weight workout that you get pushed through by coach don't seem so bad when you hadn't had it in 3 months and you miss it like crazy. Hopefully it doesn't seem so bad going forward. And so, but it's been an adjustment. I know it is for me personally, and I'm in communication with our kids and coaches a lot, and it has definitely been an adjustment. And I think moving forward, the hard thing is really just knowing what the end game will be and what that will look like.
Yeah, well, we don't know what the end game is yet, but we do know a little bit about what the next step is, and that is June 8th. UIL's released the guidance that June 8th will be able to open up for strength and conditioning. Still don't know all the details about that, but at least it gives us a target date to talk about when we're communicating with the kids about what's next.
Yeah. That was exciting news to get. I guess Tuesday that the UIL was gonna, was planning to allow us to run camps and workouts starting on the 8th. I know they've got I believe today at some point their plan is to release what that will look like to start off with on some of the recommendations that they have. And all the coaches that I deal with on a regular basis and speak to, we all want the same thing. We believe in what our programs do for kids and how we serve kids. And it's certainly I don't know a single human that wants to put a young person or their self in harm's way. And I know there's lots of different opinion. Reality is, I don't believe personally that what's happening right now is sustainable for the long haul. I agree with the UIL that there is some ways we can go ahead and start serving kids. And so that was exciting news for myself and our staff, and I think everybody across the state of Texas. And I know there's lots of athletes and coaches that are just ready to get to work and have the opportunity to see each other and be around each other. It's hard. It's like getting the rug pulled out from under you when you're with kids every day, and you that relationship means a lot to you. And then you get the rug pulled out from under you, and you don't get the opportunity to see them on a regular basis. It's disappointing. And so sorry, that's one of the things we've done in this time we've been forced to spend at home is get a puppy and try to housebreak him. So, but anyway,
I'm not sure if he's agreeing or disagreeing with you, Coach.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that yet. Okay. But anyway, June 8th is an exciting step. I think time will tell how impactful everything is as far as everything else other than just the sports end of it. But I think the positive from me looking at it is looking forward. I think if the decision makers as far as the TEA and our state goes and the UIL, if they were not planning on having fall sports, football and volleyball and cross country, if we were not planning for that, I don't think we would be in a rush to go ahead and get back to working out kids and get coaches with kids and continuing to develop those programs. So that in itself is exciting to me. That makes me believe that that we will be having an opportunity to resume competitions and all that moving forward. And I know that I feel that question from kids on Zoom meetings and things all the time when they communicate. Coach, are we going to have football season? Coach, are we going to have? Well, you think we'll have a football season? And the reality is, I think so. I have a lot of faith that it will happen, but at the same time, I couldn't have told you 3 months ago that what any of this would have looked like, and I wouldn't have believed it if you'd have told me. So it's hard to feel 100% confident in anything, but it was exciting to get the news about June 8th, and it makes me more confident moving forward that we will have our opportunities and that this will not be the end of competitions as we know it.
All right. Well, you touched on it a little bit, but this will be your second season there as the head football coach. And we can get a little past football since you're the athletic director, but what are the principles that you want to instill in the athletes there at Caldwell?
Yeah, well, the first thing that we try to instill and that my staff, I feel like, first off, I'm so proud of the staff that we have here. I'm telling you, our staff, from the girls' side to the boys' side, I feel blessed, man, to work with and have an opportunity to lead and on a daily basis. They make this job fun. But one of the main things that we try to establish is a pride in being a Hornet, and have that mean something. And I think that starts with our staff. If we don't take pride in what we do, and that's not a football thing, a volleyball thing, a baseball, a softball, a basketball, that's not sports specific. That is just taking pride in being a part of our program, and truthfully making it not easy to be a part of our program. There's a fine line because everybody wants numbers, and good morning, buddy. Everybody wants numbers in your program, and that's a sign of that's kind of a barometer. But at the same time, there's a fine line between attempting to simply grow numbers and then not having the type of discipline within your program that it takes to be successful. And so as a coach, I think you're always trying to walk that line. And I believe that if you if you have high standards and you force and develop pride in your programs, I think those numbers do come at some point. And we've been able to grow the numbers, substantially in some areas, but we have a lot of places we want to go. But I would say taking pride in what we do and being a part of our program, period. Developing a work ethic that like I said, we don't want to make it easy to be a part. My guess is that usually, and like most staffs, I've been doing this a pretty good while. Like most staffs, we come back from from some of the breaks, Christmas break, spring break, uh, for 2 to 3 days when we're working out kids and we're pushing them and challenging them, we should see kids, you know, go ahead and fertilizing the lawn a little bit with breakfast and all that good stuff. And so we want to establish a work ethic and make it, make there be a high price to be involved in our program. And I do think that drives the pride factor up immediately. When you tell our kids all the time, I can't expect you to go through hard things on a Friday night and be successful if we have not put you in that situation through hard things up to that point. I don't believe there's a game face switch. There's a game day switch that you turn on and become successful. If you're not prepared for that moment, when success will be determined, then I think your success or lack of it is already determined. And so we try to take a lot of pride in challenging our athletes, and the work ethic, the way our kids have responded, man, has been awesome. And that's one of the other disappointing things, other than just our kids not having the opportunity to finish seasons and compete, is, man, we were having a great strength and conditioning phase and during season for some of our kids. Man, we were seeing huge gains and had kids really bought into development from an explosion standpoint, a strength standpoint. And so we saw big time jumps in so many kids, and we're really excited. And it is a little bit disappointing to see that come to a halt for a while. I know that's the same for everybody. We're all dealing with that, but at the same time, when you feel like you're closing the gap physically and making gains and potentially giving yourself advantages as an athlete and as a program, you hate to have to pump the brakes on that. But anyway, so I would say pride, work ethic, and then leadership is another huge factor that I believe determines success. And I don't mean just success as an athlete, but I mean success as a person. Because whether you are an athlete or not, you're going to be a member of a family. You're going to be a person who's in all kinds of relationships, from the workplace to at home to spouses one day, and as a parent. And so a leadership role is going to be critical, one way or the other, for all of us, but especially in the heat of competition. The ones who can see what needs to be done and go make that happen and take ownership of the program is what is the catalyst for team success. I firmly believe that. And I saw a post that I retweeted yesterday on Twitter that was essentially talking about average teams have average to below average leadership. Good teams have coaches that lead, and elite to above average teams are the ones who have player based leadership and athlete leadership. And so we try to develop that. We try to paint a picture of what that looks like and what it does not look like for kids, and encourage that throughout everything we do. We recognize, we stop our weight workouts in an off season. We at the end of practice, we go through we call out kids to recognize kids that have exhibited the leadership qualities that we're looking for. Everything from encouragement to battling through some pain, to giving extra effort, to all the different things that we want to encourage and we want to develop. We try to do a good job of not just preaching that, but rewarding that and recognizing that when we see it within kids in our program. And so I think leadership is probably one of the last pieces that we really emphasize from a program standpoint, that we're trying to grow every single day.
One last question. For some, the big one. For me, the big one. Because I emphasize focus on football. What are the Hornets going to look like on the field this fall?
Yeah. Well, we will look different in some ways. We will look different in some ways. We're excited. Our staff is excited about the group of kids that we've got coming back. Um, we had a successful year on the JV. First off, we were able to grow our numbers, and we were able to compete and have 3 teams all season last year. We had a good JV season. We lost a couple kids to injury early on that were impactful, kids that we were kind of built around a little bit, and then the next thing you know, those kids adjusted and adapted kind of scheme and philosophy wise, and kept competing and did an awesome job, man. They won several close games and were in every single game, and it was good to get them the opportunity to develop that class that will be juniors as a class that we have high hopes for. And then our freshmen were able to win the district, and it's a talented class of kids, and so we see several of those guys having opportunities to compete for Friday night positions. And then our senior group is a group that's some hardworking kids, man. Some hardworking kids that a lot of them through injury and different things circumstantially stepped up last year and had huge roles for us. And so I feel like we will be so much better on the offensive line. We have almost all those kids back. So we feel like we will be much improved up front. That was a position that was difficult for us last year. We scrambled a lot and felt like we had to try to cover that up from a game planning standpoint all year. We lost two starters, that really put some kids into some positions that not to make excuses, but gave them opportunities to grow. So we feel like that they would not have had those possibly otherwise. And so we're excited for what that will look like moving forward. Really are. And I do feel like both sides of the ball, we've had an opportunity to look at these kids and evaluate and have a plan that's gonna fit us well. I know we've been meeting offensively and defensively for a while now, and really hammering down to tailor make our scheme to make sure it fits the personnel, not just that we have this year, but moving forward as well. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what that will look like in the fall. And we've got a fun group of kids to coach. We really do. And we're, there's a lot of things happening on our campuses. Every campus in our district's got construction going on. We've got turf going down in the stadium. We've got our press box is getting redone right now. We've got a new gym that's going to be finished in September. Locker rooms and coaches' offices and all that stuff. So anyway, long story short, we have got a lot of things happening right now, but it's all exciting. It's all exciting things. And so we've got a competitive schedule. We're going to play in one of the better districts in the state, we feel like, and the positives that comes along with that is, if you want to compete at the highest level, you have to compete against people who are going to play at the highest level. And so we'll get an opportunity to do that with some folks in district. And I don't control who gets put in our district. I just worry about us and what that means for us. And so we're going to look at getting the most every ounce we can get out of us as a coaching staff, as a group of young men and players, and then and we will see how that shakes out at the end of it. But we certainly plan on competing well in that district and being a postseason competitor and continuing on in week 11. The good news is, when you come out of that district, then you have the opportunity to earn the right to feel like you should compete for a while. So anyway, we're excited. We're excited. I think we've got a great non-district schedule, and we look forward to the opportunity to getting after some of these people. We've got Cameron is back in the district with Caldwell, which they've not competed together for a while. Rockdale was a non-district game for us last year, and they've got a great group of kids coming back, and we feel like we do too. We competed really well with them. They've got a good talented group of kids that are really athletic, and we got a bunch of tough kids coming back that we feel excited the way they're going to compete. And so anyway, we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time today, and best of luck to your Hornets in all their games this next school year.